Hey everybody, it's Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training. Welcome back. We're on video 3 and we're comparing the different tabs inside the ACR and Lightroom interfaces. So today we're actually going to go with some additional tabs. Let's get into the bridge and let's start working from there. So let's go down. There we go. And let's get into our shot that we're going to be using for this demonstration, as we have all week. Same one. So let's get into, by the way, there will be a video 4 here on Friday to be able to finish up. So where we left off, we talked about split toning yesterday. We're going to be talking about the lens correction area. If you're someone that uses a lot of wide angle stuff or does some different types of thing, this is a place where you can change the aspect of the actual shot and correct for those lens distortion issues that you might be able to have when you're out there. Now, the first thing that you have to do when you get into the tab is enable the lens profile correction. And what you'll be able to do is actually put your make and lens inside here to be able to work with. And then you can switch up your different profiles that you have for each particular item. So I did shoot this with a Canon camera, and I'm using the 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8. So as you can see here, I've got it all set to go. So you can see the wide variety of lenses that they have here that you'll be able to get into. So very, very cool that you can go into all of this. They have all the Nikon series inside. Here's Fujifilm, Hasselblad. The entire lens selection is right here for you. Keep in mind that all of that data kind of has been held in the metadata area, so that's why it kind of picked up on the lens that I had selected here. But you can change those lenses if you wanted to. So if you did have a distortion amount that you wanted to go in, you can see that the image is going up and back based on if I'm going in or not. You also have some vignetting you can do here, although I would not do it in this area. There's other areas to be able to do this. But this is the area that you would put your profile in to be able to work with that. Here you also have, inside the lens correction area, you also have the chromatic aberration area. Now, what is chromatic aberration? It's something that I think we should run a telethon on or something. But the idea of chromatic aberration is areas of bright contrast. They kind of have off coloring. So a lot of times they'll go to green and magenta. They'll be kind of opposite in areas of bright contrast. And this is an area of being able to remove that from the individual shot. You can also go in and what we call defringe. And that'll take these areas that you have that you're getting this color shift, and you'll be able to fix that color shift. A lot of times you'll see it in high key images where maybe you've overlit the center area, and then you're seeing it kind of go off where all of a sudden it's going from, you know, your highlight zone to your next zone down. Maybe it's a half a stop or a stop under, and then another stop under. And what you're seeing is that movement or chromatic aberration that's happening between those zonal areas. So that's where chromatic aberration happens. You'll notice why they have it as purple and green or magenta green. Those hues are kind of the hues that you're going to be able to get, or what you're going to see when you get into those high contrast areas. There's also an area to be able to do a manual movement if you wanted to. If you're using specialized lenses, you'll be able to go in here and put in your distortion control. A lot of you might call this keystoning. If you're somebody who uses projectors a lot and you do demonstrations, you know, this is an area of keystoning as well. So you can obviously see that you can do a wide variety of different things here in the lens correction area. And again, this is for you to be able to go in and fix things that maybe aren't quite right. Maybe you're seeing that wide angle lens and you want to pull it back. The other area that I find this very helpful with, if you're doing, let's say you're doing a lot of images, doing a panoramic, and you're going to piece them together, and your corners are a little bit closer than your center section, and you wanted to straighten all those out. This is the area to do it first before you go in there. Although, when you do go into that programming, you can actually set it so that it'll take out that distortion control in there as well. But this is another area that you can set it to and be able to go in and do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a crop on this image, because the next tab over is the effects tab. And this is where you can go in and add some cool things. One of the items is grain. So you can actually go in and add grain. If you're one of those people that really like in that film noir type feel, you can actually go in and add grain to your actual file to create more of that film quality that you might be looking at. Once you add an amount here, you'll notice that your size and your roundness starts to be activated. This is where you go in and you'll actually pick how big of that grain structure you want and how round you want it as well. So it only is affected when you start using the tab. As soon as it goes back to 0, of course, it gets shut off and you don't have anything there. Also here, you're in your post crop vignetting as well. So if you did do a crop, which we just did, you'll be able to add vignetting in here to the actual image itself. This is really nice that you can go in and add some vignetting in here. You have 3 different styles: color, priority, paint, and highlight priority. So you can go in. Now again, once you change and get an amount on here, you can start dealing with changing your midpoint value. That's the point of where it starts. You can also change your roundness and your feather to be able to do that as well. As soon as you're at 0, it shuts everything off and it goes off. So if you are not cropping your image, let's just escape out of our crop here. Again, you'll be able to go in. Let's zoom back, and you'll be able to see the vignetting. So if you're using the darker vignette, you'll be going to the left. If you use the higher key vignette, you'll be going to the right. So a lot of people will use this to take out, if you have a lot of zoom lenses, you'll see some darkening on the corners. You can also use it that way to pull back that automatic vignetting that happens in some of your lenses. So this is a great place to do that. So let's get into the Lightroom side of it. So we're going to go over to Lightroom, and here we go. And finding the same tab. Here you go. We are in lens correction, and so you can enable the lens correction. And again, same filtration system as you had in the ACR application, exactly identical. So it's the same tab, same things going on. Here's your effects tab, and again, you've got the cropping that you're going to be doing. You'll be able to click into the style that you're looking for, of course, in the amount, and you've got your grain down here as well. So again, as you can see, very much the same the two programs are. It's just how you want to deal with your workflow. So you people that are using the bridge out there, it's okay to use the bridge. It's a great program that's worked inside there. We're going to be going over a lot of the things that are going back and forth. So don't be afraid to use the bridge. Tomorrow in video 4 of this, we're going to go over the last bits and pieces of both these applications. If you're using Lightroom, that's great too. Both of these programs are great to be using, and both of them can give you the values that you're looking for inside the applications for the raw processor. So until tomorrow, I'm Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training. Have a great one.